Like, what is your take? Like, people use ChatGPT for skin boosters.
Oh my gosh, I think I only have.
Yes.
I don't think I can finish talking about it.
Yes. We are calling cap or no cap. Welcome back to Spilling the Tea with Halley's. So today we are going to look into some of the common myths of aesthetics and shining the truth to common misinformation. With me today, again, we have our in-house expert, Dr. Terence Tan, our medical director from Halley Medical Aesthetic. So today we're going to play a game today to warm up for the podcast. So we're calling cap and no cap. So Dr. Tan, do you know what's cap and no cap?
No, not really.
Okay, so cap and no cap basically is like the term on right now, the social media term of like lie or no lie. So you're going to help us to determine whether it is no cap, which is true, or cap, which is lie. So Dr. Tan, this will be for you. So the first one, are you ready?
Not really.
No.
But you can ask anyway.
Yes, I'm going to ask anyway. So, boom. Dermal fillers do not dissolve and tend to move, so it changes the face over time. Actually, a lot of like the social media are having this right now. Like the coming with their own accounts and like saying their own story, like how it tends to move. So is it cap or is it no cap? It is? Cap and no cap. Oh. It is.
I think you're going to have a lot of cap and no cap today, because I think, as with all things in life, there's always some semblance of logic and truth behind what people say. I think there is some human element and emotive element in what people post. And in general, I think while it might not be entirely true, number one, it's true to them. They feel strongly about it. And as with most things in life, in certain cases, it might conceivably be true, but a lot of times it's also not true. Let's talk about fillers, right? I think when you go online and you search fillers, they are really a very big family of different substances that can be used to fill wrinkles and sunken areas,
yes.
or modify the shape of the face or the contour of the face in a certain way. So it can be broadly divided into temporary fillers, and these are really the most common fillers that are used today. They're the most versatile. They come in various models, but it does it through an injection. But once it goes in, it does take some time for this filler to get integrated well into the tissue and the skin.
Yeah, I do see like sometimes when you do treatments, you actually move it, right?
Yes, actually, we actually want it to move, in certain scenarios, right? And we choose the type of hyaluronic fillers, or for that matter, any fillers, based on what we call the rheology of the filler. Okay, so this is really a scientific term for the characteristic of the filler. Sometimes we want it to move, sometimes we don't want it to move. We don't want to, inject in too many places. So in certain places, especially when it's, over a large area, we do want it to move.
Oh, yes.
And for a short period of time, within 24 hours to 48 hours, I think there's some research that says that it can move fairly easily. So therefore, we tell people, try not to engage in too much physical exercise, try not to rub it too much for various reasons. Yeah, not to migrate, not to move the filler is one thing, and also preventing bruising and stuff like that, but mainly to give it time for it to settle down. So in that case, is no cap, right?
No cap, yeah.
So please don't do that. But thereafter, it actually integrates into the skin. So lots of studies have shown through what you call histology, whereby they would look at the filler inside the skin under a microscope over a period of time. And although initially the filler and the skin is totally separate, after a while you can see that it's actually integrated into the skin in between the cells, and it's probably not possible for it to move. For it to move anywhere. And it's like super glue. I think logically speaking, it probably cannot occur. Now, fillers are actually, or rather hyaluronic acid, which is what hyaluronic acid fillers are made of, are actually naturally found in our own skin. This is actually called ground substance. They call it ground substance because it is all over the skin, like on the ground, okay? And it is really found in our skin and a lot of our tissues, and they form like kind of like the floor of a lot of our tissues. So it's actually found everywhere. And at any point in time, there is new hyaluronic acid which is coming about to replace the old hyaluronic acid that gets broken down naturally in our body. And these hyaluronic acid that we inject is 100% identical, except that most of them are stuck together a little bit more tightly to give it its rheology of being slightly firmer for good lift, and also its rheology for longevity. Now let's talk about the other types of fillers. So the other fillers which are also in the market, a lot of them are also very safe, but they're not made of hyaluronic acid. And these fillers tend to last a longer period of time. But I think modern technology makes sure that they don't last forever, because things which last forever tend to cause some problems if they do last too long. So in that case, yes, it does occur, but generally not what you read on social media. As you said, I mean, there's always some truth in what people say, and we really should be empathetic and shouldn't be dismissive of everything that doesn't fit into our this longevity and whether it lasts forever. There are certain areas which do last a bit longer. Well, whether it's good or no good, it depends on what's the attitude and what the patient is actually looking for. So the areas whereby there is actually less movement, it actually persists for a longer period of time. So for example, over the lower face, because we're talking all the time, including myself, it does go away a little bit faster. Whereas those areas like over the mid face, they tend to last a bit longer because there's a bit less movement. So I think there are certain nuances within these opinions, and yes, largely true, but a lot of times it's not entirely true. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. I think the most important thing is really before embarking on a treatment, do ask a lot of questions to the person who's treating you. Make sure you know and you're confident of what treatment you're going for, and in general, that will be okay.
So moving on to the next rumor. This one I heard a fair bit, but I think RF microneedling makes you age faster. So once you start, you tend to age faster. That's the rumor. So is it cap or no cap, Dr. Tan?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm being boring here.
Again, he takes two tags. Cap and no cap. Okay.
Yeah. So where does this kind of opinion come from? So I think that there are two opinions. I think the opinion which is more widely circulated on the internet is that there's fat loss due to excessive heating of the skin, leading to excessive heating of the fat underneath the skin. And the same can be said of other treatments, including lasers, radiofrequency, ultrasound-based devices, which are generally used for tightening. Because for tightening, you do need to heat up the skin to a certain degree, such that you get warming, but you don't want it so warm such that it becomes excessive. That fat breakdown can occur. But in general, they are very, very high tech, and there are many checks and balances and very safety mechanisms. For radio frequency-based devices, do not have an ultrasound scanner because they don't have ultrasound, right?
Yes.
But a lot of the modern ones, especially the ones that we use, they have an integrated temperature scan. So every time, real time, we know what temperature we have. And of course, we don't want to make it become too hot. We want it to be hot enough such that we stimulate collagen, anti-aging, but we don't really want it too hot such that it will damage the structures underneath. So yes, we cannot see, but we can feel through these sensors. Okay, but specific to microneedling, though the depth that it can go to for most of these modern machines, they don't really go all the way down to deep fat. Superficial fat, yes, but this is not really that significant. So that's the fat loss theory. But why no cap? Well, it's a lot of people, as they get older, we tend to have a descent of our fat. These skin tightening devices, they tend to push up the fat, making us look a bit younger. And especially in certain faces, commonly in Caucasians, but also very commonly in Singaporean, or rather in Asians as well, the fact that it pulls up the fat, making us look a bit more youthful, can also make our face look a bit more narrow.
The gaunt. Like,
Yeah. More wrinkles, less bulky cheeks, you know. So I think this opinion is not untrue,
okay.
but it is not entirely true either. So I think back to the same thing, you know, use a machine with power. Great power comes great responsibility.
Shout out Spider-Man. But
Yeah.
also, I also want to ask this. So there's another side of like users or like viewers out there, or like there are rumors that like the radio frequency itself, like too much of it in your face would make you age faster. Is that true or not? Like,
Okay, that's
maybe that's where the cat came from.
There are radio waves everywhere.
Yeah,
okay?
radio, yeah.
Yeah. It's like that's definitely a
A cat.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's definitely a cap. Okay. There's a rumor that don't use mobile phones because there's a lot of radio frequency or a certain form of radiation that will make you get cancer. Yeah, and some people kind of swore off these phones for some time, but right now when you use your phone, are you worried about cancer?
I think most of the time I do hear this, so I tend to like subconsciously don't put it near me. Like, how true is it actually?
Well, it's actually untrue. So I think radiation is divided into ionizing radiation and non-ionizing radiation. Ionizing radiation is really a radiation mainly from unstable molecules called radioisotopes, and they tend to break down by itself spontaneously, emitting electrons that tend to damage DNA, causing mutations and cancer. So these are what you find in nuclear power reactors, unfortunately in war.
Yeah.
But what radio frequency does is it does have a small amount of non-ionizing radiation, which is not proven to disrupt DNA and not proven to cause cancer. Moreover, the amount of radio frequency or radiation through radio frequency that comes out is really minute compared to maybe industrial use and other users. So I don't think it's really a cap in this case. So it'll be it'll be cap.
It's cap. Yeah, because it's quite small.
Yeah.
Like the power of it, right? Okay, nice. Thank you, Dr. Tan.
Good
Okay, next
cycle.
one. We're talking about skin boosters.
Yeah.
Okay, so skin boosters need more than one session in order to really see the results, like as in the glow and things like that. So is it cap or is it no cap?
Guess
think
what I'm
we-
gonna do?
I think he's gonna take two again. Oh, just one?
Cap. Yeah.
Cap. Oh, just one. Very
Yeah.
decisive. Okay, nice.
Yeah, so I think that as with a lot of treatments, sometimes certain treatments take some time. So skin boosters are divided into two main types, okay? So the slightly older skin boosters, which are still very useful nowadays, are called hydrating skin boosters. And they're generally made of very, very soft, non-costing, remember I talked about it just now?
Yeah.
Hyaluronic acid that can be injected on the skin or just underneath that skin, touching the skin itself. And these give very, very immediate results because it doesn't make the body do something else. Okay, so it's there just as a what called humifactant, which is something that will absorb water by itself. And the absorption of water would then give more hydration to the skin. And hydrated skin tends to be a little bit more glowing, right? So that's more like hydration, glow, kind of skin boosters. So these you see really, really fast. And although for us to get enough hydration, you might need a few treatment sessions. In general, it should have very, very fast results and increase with subsequent treatments. But you should be able to see results after a single treatment, which is different from collagen-stimulating anti-aging skin boosters, which are either with hyaluronic acid inside or totally without, okay? So these rely on other compounds that cause the body to have a reaction in general, having a little bit more collagen, but also other mechanisms for anti-aging. But these generally take time for it to work as well, maybe up to about 3 months. And because it requires your body to respond, sometimes the response is a little bit more variable. Okay, and sometimes people can have slightly better results and slightly less results. But this requires you to have a body reaction. And it's a little bit more variable.
I was
And
also
therefore-
wondering.
Actually,
Oh,
I was just thinking-
no! You got another one. Now we move on to the next one. Okay, we're gonna move into the rumor is laser hair removal treatments make you break out more. So after treatments, there are people who are claiming that they tend to have like either rashes or pimples. Is this cap or is this no cap? We'll switch it up.
Okay, so it's cap and no cap.
Oh, okay. It is both. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this is I think we are really talking about apples and oranges.
It really depends on the person,
right now, yeah.
actually, right?
Yeah. So it really depends. Okay. So there are many kind of lasers. What are we doing the laser for? No. So I think there are certain lasers, like ablative lasers, whereby we certainly should not be doing when there's a mild acne attack, and can possibly trigger acne breakout in very acne-prone patients. So these are generally very strong lasers called ablative lasers, whereby you will get a physical peeling of the skin done in a more calibrated manner in small little dots, peeling maybe about 20, 15, maybe even 30% of the skin. And these lasers may cause acne to become worse or even trigger acne. You have a little bit of acne because of a super strong peeling action might block more pores, might make the redness from the acne a lot worse. I think more likely this feedback comes from doing lasers to treat acne.
Oh.
Okay, so acne is like a very slow boat, like a big container ship or big cruise ship, having thousands of people or thousands of container cargo inside. Takes a long time to turn the ship around. When we do the laser, it's turning really slowly. But until then, it still goes further before it comes back. So it can get worse before it gets better. Not because the laser is making it go worse, but it's slowly turning the ship. In the meantime, it can get a little bit worse in the meantime. But the ship is turning. Okay, so it's getting better, but it might get slightly worse if it gets better, because that's a really slow ship which is turning. The other thing is also that quite commonly, or rather not commonly, but sometimes people are taking certain medications for acne, and this specific medication called Isotretinoin, which also comes in various brands, can cause what I call IBO or initial breakout. So within the first week to two, sometimes it can get a little bit worse before it gets a little bit better. And you pair these two together, you have IBO and you have laser done, then the laser might be attributed in a not a fair way in making the acne worse, but really it's not the case. Acne lasers do work. I mean, it's okay. First tier will be creams and oral medications if necessary. But thereafter, lasers do work. Okay, so it works through a heating process to kill the germs, reduce oil. Certain wavelengths are known to reduce oil, reduce redness, and also they do peel the skin a little bit, reducing the amount of blockage of your pores. And these things generally do help.
Okay. In fact, I think this is the last one, and it's a pretty big question, Dr. Tan. Yes. Aesthetic treatments in general. So these are word of mouth more, and also like discussions on Reddit and things like that. They're saying that once you start these treatments, regardless of any treatments, they are forever. You have to keep doing them. Because like once you start, you will probably have to keep going for it. Otherwise, the condition will deteriorate and your face will change. Is this cap or is this no cap?
Okay.
It's a big question. Oh,
It's a cap.
all of them.
I don't want to raise them because it's the last question.
Yeah.
So
There's
it's
a
the
We
cap.
can decorate around.
Okay.
Okay, we can decorate around.
Alright, yeah. So it's a cap, okay?
Cap.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that, I mean, it might be different forever for certain very long-term treatments, but I think that it is something that you can stop if you want to. Not that you should, but you can stop, right? A lot of the treatments that we have today, they are generally reversible, okay, and they are generally long-lasting. Okay, so when you add long-lasting to the mix, you get a lot of people who get the impression that once you start, you cannot stop. It bears testament to the longevity of the treatment. So, for example, if a treatment lasts a really long time, a doctor does a laser and lasts you for 2 years. A doctor puts a very long-lasting a lot of time non-hyaluronic acid dermal filler. It lasts you 3 years, 4 years. You will look very different in 3 to 4 years time because you'll be 3 to 4 years older.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. And the people come to see us, generally they are in their mid-30s, whereby they have just very little aging. And by the time a lot of these treatments wear off, and especially if they're very long lasting and they have been topping up every now and then, they might see themselves without the assistance of these treatments 5 years later. And at 40 years old or in their 40s, we will look very different from when we look at when we are 35. But aging carries on. So we have got anti-aging treatments that make you a little bit younger looking, but thereafter you start getting older a bit, and then we have to top up. And we are always having these two things which are fighting with each other.
Yeah.
I think we should age gracefully, not age gracefully.
Yes. Okay. So, like moving into this, right? So, I think from this little game, as well as like talking about the different rumors of all these aesthetic treatments, I think the main key point is like research, as well as what you need to know. Information out there is very important before you start. I think a lot of us are doing nowadays to do like our own research. A lot of them are using as well AI researching, like ChatGPT, as well to research about these procedures. Like, what is your take? People use ChatGPT for skin boosters.
Oh my gosh, I think I only have,
Yes.
I don't think I can finish talking about it. Yeah.
Yes, but do patients come to you with ChatGPT?
Oh, yes, certainly. But before that, I think the other part of your question I'll answer first, okay? So, how do you decide on what to trust, what not to trust, okay? So, I think doctors rely on studies, expert opinions on journals and stuff like that. But for patients, I think it may not be possible, and also it may not be desirable because these medical journals are not catered for the layman, and people might misinterpret them, get frustrated, or even get scared of them. So it is understandable for people to go on the internet to scour for information, hoping that they'll get accurate information for them to get an informed choice. This is important. Without a spark, there is no fire. Without fire, things will never get going.
Yeah.
But the problem is that sometimes the fire can get out of control. So I think it's important in approach to look at what you are looking at in terms of the website and the opinion. Look at the influencer or the person saying it. Does that person have a vested interest in saying it? Does he have a history of having very sensational opinions that are there just so that you can have that extra click? So I think be aware of that. What's the body of evidence based on the amount of opinions? Is there a waterfall of opinions out there? Go to websites like RealSelf or other websites whereby you have a pool of opinions going up to hundreds and thousands. And generally, while one or two opinions might be false, 100, 200 opinions, even to thousands, in general, what we call random error, they kind of cancels each other out. And it's actually fairly solid evidence. Better than that, go to reputable websites. In general, these are in very, very big institutions and some big hospitals that does a lot of aesthetics or other very reputable sources whereby they are either aligned to the government or they're funded by the government or they're really, really big organizations whereby they have resources to come up with accurate information and they have responsibility to the people that pay them. And I think that's also a good start. So, as for AI, when I was in medical school, AI didn't exist. In fact, a lot of times, the internet was also in its infancy, so definitely no AI there. And I'm not the expert. I'm not one who knows more about AI than other people. But I do have experience of patients coming to me, quoting AI sources or even saying certain things about me based on AI. And we are very sure that there's a lot of confabulation, which is not true. Okay. So right now, the LLMs or the large language models depend on sources, and the sources that they pick from, they're still not big enough. Okay, so they might take it from 2 sites, 3 sites, or 4 sites, but it's not enough for it to be 100% accurate 100% of the time. In fact, it will never be. So a lot of times it's right, but a lot of times it may not be right as well. So I wouldn't use it as only source of information, but similar to what I said in just now, really as a spark for you to do further research. And no harm doing it, especially if you have a paid version, which is more accurate. But don't depend on it entirely. But it's certainly a good start because it cuts away the confusion, reduces the time, and points you in the right direction. So I think AI is great. But as with everything in life, it has its flaws. Yeah. So as I say again, search, think, search again, think again, and then see a doctor and get the doctor's opinion before going for your treatment.
Okay, that's a great wrap up. So I think, yes. So thank you, Dr. Tan, for the advice as well as on the research itself. So remember, I think for us as viewers as well as everyone out there, I think not every viral trend or even AI can be trusted. Yeah, you have to do your own studies before that. And the best way also you can do is before you do the research or anything, you can also consult a doctor to start your research. I think based on even if you go to a doctor or the clinic itself directly and ask about your own features and your own condition, advising a doctor, I think that human touch and also getting advice directly would help you with your research as well. And there's always an expert like Dr. Tan, out there to give you.
I think so. I think maybe I'll also add in about what patients ought to be asking when they come and see me.
Yes, that'd be a good one.
So there are two kinds of patients that come and see me. One who will say, "Hey, you're the expert. Why are you asking me questions? Just tell me everything I want to know."
Yes.
It's a very Asian thing.
Yes.
And generally, slightly not so young profile patients. They tend to work like that. And there'll be other people who say, "Why are you telling me these kind of things? I know what I want, just get the job done." So I think it's really about building a relationship with your doctor. So go and see a doctor and be truthful about what you want to achieve. Okay. So if you've already done a lot of research, let the doctor know that you've done a lot of research. If you have not, also let the doctor know. Then the doctor will explain to you a little bit more. It's very hard for us to decide how much to say. Thereafter, two things might exist. There must be a bond, and there must be a certain degree of agreement as to what needs to be done between what the doctor wants to do and what the patient or the customer desires. Please let the doctor know, because if it's just what the doctor wants, within your budget, we might not be meeting your expectations. We might not be tackling the right problem. And you might go home lamenting that you weren't forthcoming enough in terms of what you wanted to achieve. And this is very common in Asian culture.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think that you should also respect that the doctor has got expert domain knowledge and that some things just really wouldn't work or wouldn't work in the context of what the doctor knows and is able to do. Don't ask the doctor to do what the doctor is not able to do, because there's a million one things that the doctor can do and it might not be what the doctor does particularly well. And the doctor does know more than you in certain things, especially the things that the doctor does really often and really well. So please respect the doctor's opinion as the doctor respects the patient's opinion. And once there's a handshake, then there's a marriage of ideas, then you have a bespoke treatment which is acceptable to the patient and within the doctor's competency.
Actually, I want to ask. I'm just curious also. If there's a relationship to build and things like that. So is one consultation actually enough? Or do you do multiple consultations?
Yes, so there's this concept called cooling down period or cooling off period.
Oh.
Yeah.
Consultation.
That's in our local context, buying houses. So especially for people who are undecided, especially for young, innocent minds who might be old enough to give consent but not quite mature enough to have the whole picture, we do ask them to come back another time because they might be rushed into doing a rush decision or rather in carrying a rush decision which they might regret later on. They might be asked to go outside to speak to their parents or to their friends for half an hour, which is good. Or they might be asked to go back and come back another day after doing more research and having more time to think. But for the vast majority of the people, we can spend more time if they are still a bit worried. And if they are convinced that it should be done, I don't think there's a need for repeated consultation.
Okay, nice. Okay, good to know. Thank you so much, Dr. Tan. That was
Thank you for having me.
very insightful today. I think that was a great episode. We had all the games, so do watch everything. So thank you, Dr. Tan, for
Thank
joining
you.
us today and
Thanks, Janice.
playing with the game over here. So till next time, this is Spilling the Tea with Halley's. I hope we learned something new today. Share the episode with your friends. I think this would probably help with your research as well, like moving forward. So if you have any like questions or anything, just drop the comments below. And the button is here, I think, somewhere. So please subscribe as well and join us for the next episode. So thank you, Dr. Tan.
Thank
Bye-bye. What's the maximum? What do you mean by unnatural?
So there's no maximum. But I think, right, that technology has improved such that we are better able to anticipate how much to use. And some of the latest skin boosters, the hyaluronic skin boosters, it requires you to be treated only once.
Oh.
So you can kind of like calibrate it a little bit better because over one treatment, you can really tell, like, maybe I should be using this amount kind of thing. Whereas over a few treatments, it kind of go up and down, boosting up and down. Sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to calibrate the treatment. And it also lasts a bit longer, a little bit less inconvenience. So I think technology is also improving such that we get a better, estimation, a better calibrated approach, such that we are able to meet the expectations a bit faster, and more importantly, be able to meet the expectations better during a single treatment.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Interesting. I didn't know this actually. I was curious. Okay,